Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to It's Review Time. And this is now part 4 in our journey together in your quest to pass the licensure examination for teachers. This series of review materials in science will help you increase chances in passing the licensure examination for teachers. Questions here may be common, but these are the types of questions commonly come out in the exam. Practice will increase your confidence in taking the examination. For this general education review material, there will be 25 questions coming from the field of natural sciences. There will be explanation after every question. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you will be alerted of the new uploads. So, let's get started. Number 1 question. Arrange the following steps in the most logical order of scientific investigation. 1. Formulate the hypothesis. 2. Perform the experiment. 3. State the problem. 4. Draw the generalization. So how will you arrange this? A. 3, 2, 1, 4. B. 3, 4, 2, 1. C. 3, 1, 2, 4. And D. 3, 2, 4, 1. The correct answer is C. 3, 1, 2, 4. Using the scientific method, you've got to formulate first or state your problem. That is your question. And after that, you formulate your hypothesis. These are your educated guesses of what's going to be the answer to your question. And then next, you will have to conduct the experiment to test whether your hypotheses are correct or not. Then you've got to observe and record your data. When you already have the data, you analyze so that you can draw conclusion or generalization before you share your result through publication. So in our number 1 question, you have to arrange it in 3, state the problem, followed by 1, formulate the hypothesis, and then 2, perform the experiment, and then 4, you draw the generalization or the conclusion. Number 2 question. Which warning label indicates a chemical property of the material being labeled? A. Fragile. B. Handle with care. C. Shake well. D. Flammable. The correct answer is D. Flammable. Flammability is the ability of a chemical to burn or ignite, causing fire or combustion. Flammable substances are those gases, liquids, and solids that will ignite and continue to burn in air if exposed to a source of ignition. And that is a chemical property of a certain material. Number 3 question. What relationship exists between a population of bangus and a population of tilapia in one fish pond? A. Commensalism. B. Mutualism. C. Competition. D. Predation. The correct answer is C. Competition. Competition is a relationship between organisms that compete or strive for the same resources in the same place and at the same time. So in this situation, tilapia and bangus exist in the same fish pond. So there is a tendency that these two groups of organisms will compete for the same food resources, will compete for the same dissolved oxygen and other physical, chemical, and biological parameters present in the same area. Number 4 question. Which of the following relationships is correct? A. A meter is less than a kilometer. B. A second is more than a minute. C. A centigram is equal to a milligram. D. A decimeter is greater than a decameter. The correct answer is A. A meter is less than a kilometer. In the conversion table, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So a meter is smaller than a kilometer. And there are 60 seconds in every minute. 1 centigram is equal to 10 milligrams. And for this kind of question, it will always be good if you are familiar with the conversion table. The length, weight, capacity, and imperial units. I assure you, 1 or 2 questions will come out from this information. Number 5 question. When water evaporates, it changes into which of the following states? A. Solid. B. Matter. C. Gaseous. D. Liquid. The correct answer is C. Gaseous. So evaporation happens when a liquid turns into a gas. So for example, in this photo in here, you will see that there are 3 states of matter: gas, solid, and liquid. And the evaporation is here. So you have a liquid in here, and when it transforms into gas, that's evaporation. From gas to liquid, that is called condensation. From gas to solid, that's called deposition. From solid to gas, that's sublimation. If it is solid to liquid, that's called melting. And if it is from liquid to solid, that's called freezing. Now, we have 1 or 2 more questions coming from this information later. So you better remember this. Number 6 question. What is the first element in the periodic table? A. Helium. B. Hydrogen. C. Oxygen. D. Carbon. The correct answer is B. Hydrogen. So you will see that in the periodic table, the hydrogen here is the first element, and that is followed by helium. Number 7 question. A change in the shape or size of an object can be classified as blank. A. Mechanical change. B. Physical change. C. Nuclear change. D. Chemical change. The correct answer is B. Physical change. A physical change can happen when there is a change in size or shape of matter, but there is no chemical reaction. So you can chop a certain thing, make it smaller, or you can put together to make it bigger. That is just physical change. Mechanical change happens when different forces are applied, which includes things like strength, ductility, wear resistance. Nuclear changes occur when nuclei of atoms are rearranged to form new atoms, such as in atomic fission, nuclear fusion. Chemical change happens when one chemical substance is transformed into one or more different substances, such as when a new substance combines with another to form a new substance. That is called chemical synthesis, or alternatively, chemical decomposition into two or more different substances. A change in state from solid to gas without passing a liquid state is called blank. A. Solidification. B. Evaporation. C. Condensation. D. Sublimation. The correct answer is D. Sublimation. So sublimation is the conversion of a substance from solid to gaseous state without passing the liquid state. So as I showed this to you earlier, from solid to gas, that is called sublimation. A very good example of that, which we are familiar with, are the naphthalene balls. You know, when the naphthalene balls just disappear after you put it in a box to prevent the moths and cockroaches from coming in. So that is sublimation. Number 9 question. Which of the following is an example of a chemical change? A. Melting of candle. B. Rusting of iron. C. Dissolving sugar. D. Boiling of water. The correct answer is B. Rusting of iron. So chemical change happens when one chemical substance is transformed into one or more different substances, such as when iron becomes rust. Rust is an iron oxide, a usually reddish-brown oxide formed by the reaction of iron and oxygen in the catalytic presence of water or air moisture. Number 10 question. In what state are most matter in the universe? A. Gas. B. Liquid. C. Solid. D. Plasma. The correct answer is D. Plasma. Solids, liquids, and gases are the most familiar states of matter. But most matter in the universe exists as fourth state of matter called the plasma. A plasma is similar to gas in that it does not have a definite shape or volume, but it has a different electrical properties than gases. Number 11 question. What does a stick of unlit dynamite demonstrate? A. Chemical energy. B. Nuclear energy. C. Kinetic energy. D. Potential energy. Answer is D. Potential energy. In physics, potential energy is the energy held by an object because of its position relative to other objects, stresses within itself, its electric charge, or other factors. And that is what there is in the unlit dynamite stick. Number 12 question. Which process occurs when gas is changed into liquid? A. Evaporation. B. Condensation. C. Sublimation. D. Decomposition. The correct answer is B. Condensation. We already discussed this earlier. Condensation is the process where water vapor becomes liquid. So you find it this part here. So gas, and then here. So transfer to liquid, that's condensation. You notice that when you put a cold water on a glass and eventually you see that water starts to come to manifest outside the glass. So that's a condensation. Number 13 question. All of the following are characteristics of metals except A. Good conductor, B. Brittleness, C. Malleability, D. Ductility. The correct answer is B. Brittleness. So these are the typical properties of metals. They have high melting points, they are good conductors of electricity, good conductors of heat, they have high density, they are malleable, and they are ductile. Radium was discovered by A. Albert Einstein, B. Pierre and Marie Curie, C. Joseph John Thomson, D. Albert van Haller. The correct answer is B. Pierre and Marie Curie. So Pierre and Marie Curie discovered radium and also polonium in their investigation of radioactivity. Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist, and he is known for his contribution by developing the theory of relativity. J.J. Thomson discovered the electron by experimenting with a cathode ray tube. Haller was first recognized by his mechanism of respiration and the autonomous function of the heart. He also discovered that bile helps to digest fats, and he wrote original descriptions of embryonic development. He also summarized anatomical studies of the genital organs, the brain, and the cardiovascular system. Number 15 question. Ions are formed by blank. A. Gaining or losing electrons. B. Gaining or losing protons. C. Sharing protons. D. Sharing electrons. The correct answer is A. Gaining or losing electrons. Ions are formed by the addition of electrons to or the removal of electrons from neutral atoms or molecules or other ions, by combination of ions with other particles, or by rupture of a covalent bond between two atoms in such a way that both of the electrons of the bond are left in association with one of the formerly bonded atoms, as shown here in our figure. The sodium atom was converted to a sodium ion because it has lost an outer electron. Number 16 question. Acid becomes colorless when added with A. Litmus indicator, B. Methyl orange indicator, C. Universal indicator, and D. Phenolphthalein indicator. The correct answer is D. Phenolphthalein indicator. Phenolphthalein is used as an indicator in acid-base titrations. For this application, it turns colorless in acidic solutions and pink in basic solutions. It belongs to the class of dyes known as phthalate dyes. Number 17 question. Which element in the periodic table has the symbol Ca? A. Cadmium, B. Calcium, C. Carbon, D. Californium. The correct answer is B. Calcium. In the periodic table, you will see that calcium has the symbol Ca, californium has Cf, carbon is C, and cadmium is Cd. For additional information, if you see something like this, then you should know that if this is the symbol for calcium in here, Ca, the number that you see here at its top is the atomic number. Here is the atomic weight, and then this one is the electron configuration, and you see the name down here. Number 18 question. The radioisotope which is now used in cancer radiation treatment is blank. A. Cobalt-60, B. Uranium-238, C. Sodium-24, D. Iodine-131. The correct answer is A. Cobalt-60. Cobalt-60 is a radioactive isotope of cobalt used in industry and medicine. Cobalt-60 is the longest-lived isotope of cobalt, with a half-life of 5.27 years, used as radiation source for medical radiotherapy. Cobalt therapy uses beams of gamma rays from cobalt-60 teletherapy machines to treat cancer, as shown in the picture. Number 19 question. A shooting star is really a blank passing through the Earth's atmosphere. A. Collection of dark matter, B. Ball of burning gases, C. Meteoroid, D. Dense patch of solar wind. The correct answer is C. Meteoroid. A meteor, sometimes called the shooting star or falling star, is actually a space rock that is crashing through the Earth's atmosphere, just like what is shown in this picture. Number 20 question. In a flame test, what is the color of the flame if there is a presence of boron in a solution? A. Brick red, B. Yellow gold, C. Royal blue, D. Bright green. The correct answer is D. Bright green. Any boron-containing compound will cause flames to emit a green color. When boron compounds are heated, electrons absorb a certain amount of heat energy that causes them to jump to higher energy levels. Number 21 question. A thermometer measures blank. A. Current, B. Wind speed, C. Water vapor, D. Temperature. The correct answer is D. Temperature. And I guess this one doesn't need an explanation. Number 22 question. When the reading of a barometer is going down, it is an indication that there will be A. Snow, B. Storm, C. Intense heat, D. Rainfall. The correct answer is D. Rainfall. A barometer measures air pressure. A rising barometer indicates increasing air pressure. A falling barometer indicates decreasing air pressure. As a very loose rule, a high pressure area will be clear and a low pressure area will be cloudy and rainy. And we are familiar with this through the weather news. You hear this word low pressure area, means there will be rainfall, and if it progresses, there could be a storm. Number 23 question. A chronometer measures A. Color contrast, B. Sound waves, C. Time, D. Water waves. The correct answer is C. Time. I guess it's already in the term, chronometer means order. So like the word chronology, No, so time. Chronometer is a timepiece or timing device with a special mechanism for ensuring and adjusting its accuracy for use in determining longitude at sea or for any purpose where very exact measurement of time is required. Number 24 question. Which of the following is closest to normal body temperature? A. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 50 degrees Celsius. C. 212 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 37 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is D. 37 degrees Celsius. The average normal temperature of the body is approximately 37 degrees centigrade, or that is equivalent to around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 25 question. Fathom is a unit of A. Sound, B. Depth, C. Frequency, D. Distance. The correct answer is B. Depth. Fathom, an Old English measure of length, now standardized as 6 feet or 1.83 meter, which has long been used as a nautical unit of depth. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something from this review material. And please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for you to be alerted of our new uploads. So bye for now. Watch out for the next review material.